Okay, so this is going to be a fun video because this is an educational video. I hope this video changes your life forever. So if I wrote you a check for $1 million, literally, if I wrote you a check for $1 million, what would you do with that? Would it change your life? Well, I think it would because, $1 million wouldn't change whose life? But either way, if I wrote you a check for $1 million, what would you go and spend the money on? So I have a little list here, and this is just taken from the average person that somehow came into $1 million, what they spent the money on. Now you might not spend the exact amount, you might spend more, but this is the average. So let's go through that list right quick, and if you see what I'm talking about as we get to the middle and towards the end, you'll see essentially you can become a millionaire in the next 5 years or less. But for right now, if I wrote you a check or I wired $1 million into your bank account, some of the first things that you're probably going to go and buy, you're going to go and buy yourself a car. And the average car is about $30,000. And after you buy yourself a car, you go more than likely go buy your mother a car. So if you go and buy your mother a car, that's $60,000. You got a car for yourself, you got a car for your mother, that's $60,000. You might have some credit card debt, so I just put $5,000 for credit card debt. You definitely got to go buy yourself a new house. I put 200,000. I know in places like Texas, a house can cost about 400,000. We're not going to even go into California or New York, but let's say just a moderate house, fairly big house, 200,000. And if you have a boyfriend or you have a girlfriend, then you can't buy yourself a car and not buy them a car. So let's just go ahead and add another $30,000 for a car for them also. And then you got to go get some clothes, $5,000 worth of clothes. I know some people are like, what? I would never spend $5,000 on clothes, but you just came into $1 million. What's $5,000 out of a million? Might as well get what you want to get, be happy, clothes, shoes, just go and get what you go get. Either way, between the $30,000 for you to get a car, $30,000 for your mother to get a car, $5,000 on clothes, $200,000 on a house, $5,000 on credit cards, that's $300,000 spent of your $1 million. That leaves you with $700,000. Not bad. You still got quite a bit of money left. Well, let's go into things a little bit more aggressive. You do have that new house. You got to get some furniture for that new house. That's going to run you about $30,000. You got to take a vacation. And, since you got the money, you might as well truly take a vacation. You're going to spend $20,000 on that vacation or multiple vacations within that 1 year. And you might have some medical bills, you might not, but I put $10,000 worth of medical bills here because the average person has medical bills out there that haven't been spent. We also have on the list $100,000 just to help or to just, be a charity to family members or friends. $100,000. You got $1 million. Why not, help your friends and family? So we put $100,000 that you can help your friends and family. And we got three things left. We have jewelry. So we have jewelry. You go and get you some bling, get your necklace, watches, whatever you want to get, diamond rings, and we have $10,000 down for that. It could be more because some people like to spend more, but the average once again is 10,000. So, with that being said, you got to have some parties. You got to, share the wealth with your friends by having a few parties. I put 5,000 down. Remember, this is all within the first year, but for the most part, the first 2 months is what you will more than likely spend all this money on. All right, and then for some reason I added an extra $100,000 on there. No idea what that's for, but we added an extra 100,000. The total comes to 575,000. But I did want to up the amount for the cars. We put 30,000 for the car for you and for your girlfriend or boyfriend. We're just gonna round that off to 10,000 between you and your girlfriend or boyfriend. And so with that extra $20,000 instead of 575, we're looking at 595. So we'll go round that off to 600,000. You received $1,000,000. You spent 600,000 within the first 6 months. That's just to get a house. You don't have to worry about a mortgage, get cars. You don't have to worry about car payments, paid off all your medical bills, credit cards, helped a few friends and family out. I mean, you're good to go. Spent 600,000. You still got 400,000 sitting in the bank, ready to go. Whether you want to start a business, whether you want to invest, it doesn't matter. You still got 400,000, and you took care of all these other issues and problems and likes, dislikes, wants. You got all that taken care of. So now with all that done, we're going to look at the fact that you have 400,000 left. So right in the first 6 months, you spent a majority of the money. You spent over half. But the thing is, once you spend $1 or $5 of that $1,000,000, essentially you're not a millionaire anymore. As soon as you spend $1, you're not a millionaire anymore. So the true question is how in the world can you become a millionaire if you acquire a millionaire through the lottery, or you acquire $1,000,000 from an inheritance, or by doing a job or anything like that? How do you keep that $1,000,000? Well, essentially it will have to stay in your bank account. You can't spend it, because once you go over $1, spend $1, you're no longer a millionaire. So that just defeats the purpose of wanting to be a millionaire. So the best thing to do essentially is you want to figure out how is it you could be a millionaire without acquiring $1,000,000, because the average person is just not going to see that. At least that's what you would think. So I want you to look at things like this. So if you could save $100 a month, how long will it take you to become a millionaire? I just want you to look at it. $100 a month, how long would it take you? So the answer to that is 833 years it would take you to save $1,000,000. If you put $100 aside per month, it would take you 833 years. Well, according to the Bible, no one's living past 120, 121. So that's a big dilemma. So let's up the ante and say, well, if you can save $1,000 a month, how long would it take you? Well, it would take you 83.3 years. Well, I mean, I might make it to 83, but by the time I get to 83, I'm not going skydiving. I'm not going bungee jumping, which I'm sure most of you probably wouldn't do that anyway. But 83 years, I mean, I'm kind of tired. I'm ready for retirement. I can't really enjoy the money the way I really would. Getting sports cars, speeding down the road, about to get into an accident. I don't have the opportunity. So are there any other options? Well, yes, there's another option. There's a third option. That third option is, can you save $10,000 a month? $10,000 a month, you actually would be a millionaire or have $1,000,000 in 8.33 years.